Well, is it me?
Yeah, you're supposed to say it.
Okay, 60. Here we go. Welcome to 155, a podcast about punk songs. I'm your host, one of them, Sam Sutherland.
And I'm Josiah Hughes. Welcome to the show.
I love that. I feel welcomed by that. That's some of that good old-fashioned Southern hospitality.
Hospitality, exactly.
Coming on the tail end of that extremely French introduction from the house band.
Dude, shout out to Split Hairs, who we do not give enough praise on here.
We don't ever...
How stupid are our listeners that they're not constantly gassing up Split Hairs for doing a different theme song every single...
The thing that people are talking about constantly. I love that they talk about all the other things that they talk about. Constantly you hear the fans of this podcast saying, "We're so
Josiah
handsome,
is too
we're
cool.
so smart."
Josiah is so smart.
They say it about both of us, of course.
Josiah should be the only one on the show.
I haven't seen as much of that so much, but
you're not in the Discord as much, so
right. Yeah, I like to imagine that every time I go green and I log onto the Discord, everything gets kind of cleaned up,
scrubbed.
Everyone be cool to Sam for a minute. Oh, For This Is Forever is such a great band. That's what a great pick, Sam. We love it. We don't think Josiah should be the only king, but nope.
Anyways,
two kings.
If you want to enter,
kings in this kingdom.
If you want to be in the domain of two kings, Lord of the Kings, so to speak. Patreon.com/155pod. There's all kind, and I don't actually remember where I am ever, other than when I'm in front of this mic. I'm getting very disoriented. The fact that I'm not allowed to go outside after 8 p.m. is really fucking with me after 100 days of such being the rule where I live.
Has it been 100 days of curfew for you?
They moved it to 9:30 for like a week, and then they moved it back.
And then they were like, "Oh no, you guys can't handle that."
Yeah, apparently at 8 p.m. everything turns into COVID, so that's why we have
that's the problem that we've had in Ontario.
It's called Cinderella theory.
Yeah, our government refused to respect the pumpkin, and it's causing us all kinds of problems. So good on you for abiding by.
But I don't remember.
Wicked Stepsister's rule. I
don't remember if we talked about it on here or not. But we have like a bunch of Patreon goals now too, and it's like if we meet them, it's gonna probably ruin our lives a little bit in a good way. I think it's like a lot of work.
All the goals are sort of achievable, but require a tremendous amount of effort from you and I. And I think that, for people who miss a version of this podcast that was more centered on notions of sort of punishment, and duty.
Yeah.
I think we're bringing that back.
Exactly.
In the Patreon goals. So in addition to punishing us, of course, you get access to the Discord, which does rock. That's a great place to talk about how Josiah and I are both kings. This week we're going to start
actually.
Yeah, more king chat, please, in the Discord. This week we've started with the newsletter. That's going to be how you find out about the songs every week, so you can cover them. And everything you're going to hear in this episode, unless Josiah expressly says that it's something strange that he found on SoundCloud, is a cover from the people who listen to this show. Trading tracks, trading tips on the Discord. So there's a lot to get into, and of course weekly exclusives. We just finished, I guess, in pod time, watching all of the first season of Unidentified, the Tom DeLonge Alien Show. And it was terrible. That was not a good reason to sign up for the Patreon, honestly.
Saying this before we finish it. It could get good. There's a chance that...
Right. There's a chance that retroactively, maybe the final episode was good.
I'm going to choose to believe yes. I'm feeling optimistic. It's good. It's a good show, and ultimately we all learned so much more about ourselves than I ever anticipated.
Yeah, that's true. That's really... It was a long journey, but it was worth it. This week, the week that you're listening, so in a couple of days, the exclusives come out on Tuesdays. We're doing something that I've been talking about doing back from the Blink-155 days, a very important Blink-182 theme exclusive that'll be coming out on Tuesday. And then, of course, we're just minutes really away from the commencement of Green May. And all that will have in store, including all Green Day exclusives.
I was thinking of some good branding copy for Green May, do you have the time to listen to podcast? I'm still working on the... fine-tuning it.
Yeah, I don't think you're 100% there, but I feel like you've got a couple of weeks and something good is going to come out.
I think it's already done. I think that's good.
Pretty much.
We can print that.
Definitely, do you have time to listen to a podcast? Feels like the sort of like Josiah joke that if we hammer on it enough, eventually we'll all think it's fun.
I feel like if we all
The Neil Young guitar solo of podcast jokes.
if we all say it enough, we could make me podcast sound like me wine. We could if we wanted to, we could bend the words. We could sort of Christopher Nolan it and make the words bend to our will.
Ooh,
like the buildings. But this week we're talking about, it's our accidental Christian month. We've got 3 in a row now of Christian music. Shout out to the Christian Music Awards. Shout out to all the artists who are listening and feeling so embarrassed as I call them Christian artists as we talk about them.
A great, Christian themed month for people who are no longer Christian and would rather you just kind of leave it alone.
Exactly. But today we're finally talking, and the reason that this band did not get their own themed month is because I'm just going to talk about them whenever I fucking feel like it.
Right. You don't want to be contained.
But this week we're talking about Southbound by MxPx. Sam, I feel like you don't like MxPx, and I'm excited to sort of like prod you about it a little bit.
I don't. And this became a thing during the Blink-155 days to the point where the incredibly generous members of the nation made, on Apple Music, because that is my streaming platform of choice, a introductory MxPx playlist like designed to pander to me. And this was before or after there was a playlist that was made to try to get you into something.
Alkaline Trio, yeah.
Alkaline Trio. And so I don't remember, but it was like around the same time.
That's like to me, that's like grosser than any form of like evangelical, annoying missionary outreach. Like to me, making like the guilt trip that you put all this effort into a Apple Music playlist of Alkaline Trio that I know, like I'm going into it, my brain has decided that I'm definitely not going to let myself get into it. Like that just is painful for both of us, you know, me and whoever made it. I can't remember.
Yeah, I just want to make this clear. I didn't make you. Like, I just want people to listen to this to know I'm not sitting here thinking like, ooh, how can I, really get Josiah over to my side? I'll make him a playlist like you that much. But actually, if anything, I like you more than that. And I know that you would not. I know that would be
It's the wrong strategy.
It's absolutely the wrong strategy to win you over. I have yet to figure out what the right strategy is for winning you over.
I think you have to be in Imagine Dragons, maybe.
Right. I have to write the song Radioactive.
Okay, but so you like it's. I feel like I do still. I'm being glass half full right now. I do still feel like maybe you just haven't listened. You haven't heard the right MxPx. But I kind of think that, and it's not even why I picked it. But I kind of secretly think that this is the most Sammy MxPx song.
And I do want to know if that's why you picked it. So Southbound was on the Slowly Going the Way of the Pod Nation MxPx playlist that was made for me. I don't necessarily really remember like listening to it because it all kind of washed over me. I listened to this a few times. It still sits in my Apple Music, like aspirationally, like I have yet to delete it. Like I want to think that one day I'll really sort of cherish this gift. MxPx feels like this band that should exist at the center of our interests because we don't tend to share like a lot outside of sort of Blink and some of these like individual songs and stuff and like pieces of sort of very specific nostalgia. So that to me is a sign that I should like it. Add to that, and we've talked about this before on the old pod, Ashley loves MxPx, hates Blink, doesn't really listen to any pop punk, but for whatever fucking reason, MxPx like penetrated her world, that was otherwise just like listening to Sonic Youth or whatever in high school. And so when I told her we were doing an MxPx song, she was like, which one? Didn't remember Southbound by name, and then like pulled it up on her phone and put it on and sang all of the words and said, "You're finally doing a good song." Just being 100% fucking sincere about this. So, I mean, I think she forgot about Gobruary, but that's how, like, my wife, whose taste I think is fucking good, feels about this song. And I listen to it, and I 100% get where everyone's coming from, because this is, like, the most festy MxPx song, just like white lines and your brothers on the road playing punk music together. And the outro rocks, and the song is, like, objectively good. I feel like I have this aversion to this band that I can't shake, that springs from being like a very anti-religion punk as a kid. And they're so tied to like the sound of this is so 90s and it's so tied to the other bands. And I think like I struggle to shake disliking them for being Christian, despite all the other bands that we've already talked about in the last couple of weeks.
Interesting.
And maybe, and it's not even now because I think that's fucking stupid, but they're so tied to that to me that like I remember being a kid and having a friend who was like being in high school, getting into going to shows and stuff, and having a friend who was like, oh, you know, there's like a show happening at my church. Like shows happen, like normal shows happen in church basements and stuff. Like a show happening at my church. Like, do you guys want to come out? There's like some punk bands playing, and we were like, yeah, great. It's like that's just what you would do on a Friday or Saturday night. So we went to the church, but it wasn't like in the church basement, which was the only place I'd ever been for a show. It was like in the church, right. And I was like, what is happening here? And then this like band just played MxPx covers, and then like the fucking preacher got up and talked, and I was like, "What is?" And I was like fucking furious because like at that point I was like, "There is nothing more evil than Christianity in the world," and so there is nothing more fucked up than taking the sort of subversive. Authority fighting power of punk rock and using it to service this like, archaic and evil institution. And I feel like I can't get over that in a really embarrassing,
but like specifically only about MxPx who like just kind of sound like Kids Bop. No effects or something.
Specifically no effects. I clearly don't have that problem with Further Seas Forever. Like I've never had it with any other band, but it's like maybe it's that experience. I think it's also the idea of the name being magnified plaid and that like being little like it just always I was like fuck these guys. Like fuck them. And now I'm like this is great. Like objectively I'm like this is a good song.
I didn't pick this song.
I think that's the thing that I struggle with, and I want to know why you picked this song.
I didn't pick it because of that, but then this is first of all, Life in General is like front to back, other than Chick Magnet, which like for me, MxPx is like I feel like it's loaded, but not because of anything you just said. Like they're like the least Christian band ever. Like they're just basically didn't swear. Like I'm pretty sure like some of the metalcore shit that you've liked before has been way more Christian than this. Without like, probably. I think Slayer is more Christian than MxPx. In the sense that they're Catholic.
That's true, and but that's where I don't think is. I'm actually trying to be like. I actually feel like I'm doing therapy or something right now. Where I'm actually like really trying to pull back layers of myself and figure it out because what I'm expressing, I genuinely, and I mean this very sincerely, I don't think it's a defensible point of view. But maybe that's why I feel this way, because I like Ashley fucking also loves Life in General, which is like Southbound. I'm not sure. Oh, it's on Life in General. I'll definitely know it. And then, like I said, singing along, like word for fucking word. So people I know, and like Ashley didn't grow up. I guess Ashley did go to Catholic school, but like didn't grow up like really culturally.
I don't think
Christian.
Catholics were listening to like, they were listening to Steven Crowder, or that's not even a Christian. I don't remember any of the names of these fucking people.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that the Change My Mind guy? I think there's
Steven Crowder is the Change My Mind guy.
I think there's someone named David Crowder, maybe. Yeah, David Crowder. I think the funny thing, it's just like that's what I kind of love about the best music that was culturally Christian is that like people like you just missed out on something so sick that you would have loved because you were trying to impress the right guy on a message board by liking the right things or whatever.
Maybe. I think it was more that I had nothing to actually be mad about in my life. And so one of the things that I was mad about was like broadly Christianity.
Right.
Because there was like nothing else, like I had no problems, right? And so I was like, okay, well, here's what I'm mad about. I'm mad about Christianity. I'm mad about homophobia, which is like basically because of Christianity, like those.
Yeah.
I'm just mad about whatever propaganda told me to be mad about. Now, in retrospect, those are actually all pretty good things to be mad about. But
I've still never heard propaganda, but I'm pretty sure I think that I don't like them from what I can tell.
It's because they are against Christianity.
It just seems like there's so much going. I said this in the Discord, and someone got really mad, and I didn't know if it's because they like one band or the other. But propaganda seems like epithet tool to me, where it's just like there's too much going on at once. Like, just you need to calm down. You just all need to calm down.
You know why that made someone really mad? It's because it's like very accurate. Like it's one of those things where you're like, "Ooh, I hate that you're right."
So like
46 and 4 on the floor.
Like, to me, MxPx is like the epitome of everything I love about Dude Ranch era Blink. Especially Life in General is like you can't tell me that album cover is not one of the most iconic album covers you've ever seen in your life.
It's
like
perfect. I actually really wish that I had nostalgia for this, because like objectively it's so good, and instead it like leaves me with this lingering, maybe I'm mad at myself for being a dick, man. I don't really know, but it feels it's hard. It's really hard for me.
Well, let's dig into the song and we'll loop back around and we'll close out this therapy session.
Can you tell me why you picked this song? Because I sense this will not be the last time we talk about MxPx.
No, so I think Life in General is kind of like this perfect, like, sort of vibe mood board of the things I love about 90s pop punk. And people always said that like MxPx was the Christian Blink-182 or the Christian Green Day, but they're kind of like, they started it around the exact same time, and they kind of naturally fell into their own sound, which actually doesn't really sound like either. Like MxPx just sounds like MxPx if you listen to them. There is elements of like,
he doesn't sing like anybody else.
Yeah.
Like melodically, it is. I agree with you. Totally fucking distinct.
Well, I will say though, the singing is the thing that like similarly to Blink, there's something about MxPx where I also feel kind of low-key embarrassed to listen to MxPx without headphones on sometimes, because it's like the singing is very like,
I don't like the voice. I don't like the voice. I didn't grow up with it.
It's like a acquired taste that and that's why I am curious. Like, maybe if you never liked MxPx, you never will, and if you do, you always will. I'm not really sure, because there's like, they are incredibly charming, and Mike Herrera is an amazing songwriter with like a deep well of songs that kind of goes on and on forever. But the reason I picked this song is because there's kind of this like feeling of Dude Ranch that's not just the album art, but also Dick Lips, and also kind of like certain melodic things and certain decisions with the guitar and stuff that like, and I think we made fun of people for saying that they can see colors related to sounds or whatever in the past. What's that called again?
Synesthesia? Yeah.
Let's just keep trying it.
Can anyone see this yet? Tell us what color you're seeing right now. Synesthesia sounds like a fucking Cirque du Soleil show. It sounds like an erotic.
It really does. I'm so glad that Cirque du Soleil went out of business. COVID wasn't all bad. I think
they're going to come back all erotic.
I think that maybe I'm also just describing the graphic design of the CDs or the vinyl sleeves or whatever. But I think that both this song specifically and so much of Dude Ranch has this kind of like baby blue and orange hue, and it kind of and this song has a very similar melodic thing. Like, for me, this song, I think the song is really good, but for me it is a song that's built for the outro, which I think is like one of my favorite outros I've ever heard. Like, the guitar is so wimpy, but then the way the drums are shuffling, what I'm trying to say is that I feel there's this tiny hint of cowboyness that's not like social distortion or like cowpunk or something, but it's just like this feeling of Americana that I get from Dude Ranch that I also get from this song, that I think is very like comforting and charming. And I hear it in the outro.
The outro is so great. Like, the whole time the song was going, I was like, okay, I get it. I was like laughing at the lyrics and how they are the same as every song I like or have written. and I was like, okay, it's I get it. And then the outro happened, and I was like, oh, please don't let this be the bridge. Like, if this is the whole rest of the song, that'll be fucking sick. And then it is, and I love that. Like, I love that. And that reminds me a little bit of sort of the kind of choice that Blink would have made around Dude Ranch. You know, that's just like a little more interesting. It like, what you were saying about this like Americana thing, I think it's more like the lyrics are so ham-handed in sort of conjuring this like life on the road, imagery. But the way that it ends, like, actually kind of earns it a little bit. Like, it does have this just like, less like Americana, I think, in this sort of sense of, the fucking band and Wilco or whatever, but more this sort of sense of the sort of like vast expanse of the sort of American frontier that you feel when you're on tour, when you feel when you're on a good road trip, you know?
It does feel like being on a road trip. Although I would actually argue when you said Wilco, I can hear some Wilco in that outro a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit of I'm the Man That Loves You, you know, just like going on and on and on. Yeah.
So we'll talk more about the outro in a second, but I do want to talk about the lyrics. Like, I also, maybe it's because this was my first, but this doesn't, like, I feel like the reason I don't like other songs like this is because they just feel like carbon copies of this. But this being from 1996 and being the first one I ever heard, I always thought it's, even saying it out loud now, it feels so cliche. But to say it's all the same old town with a different name, like, I love that. And that's also even sort of an accidental critique of like homogenous American / Canadian like strip malls everywhere. The same corporations running everything. Like it has this like, you picture all the strip malls as you're driving around, and yet I love that about being on a road trip. I love just like going to Target all the time, or you know what I mean? Like, it's fun, but it's also depressing. Like, there's something about just those two lines already. I'm just like hooked on like loving America for how depressing it is.
Just for the sort of like repetition, but it is like, it's variations on a theme, right? It's why that one, you know, there's that Twitter account that just posts like different McDonald's from around the world. And it just the way that, you know, McDonald's successfully integrates into all different kinds of like historic architectural styles. I mean, the world is the same everywhere you go these days. And it's like,
it's kind of comforting.
There's a great, on the McDonald's front, right? There was an Olympic ad that they did actually, that one of the guys from Attention, who we played their cover of Pathetic maybe back in Blink-155, but like friends of ours who like we toured with a lot and stuff. One of the guitar players, he's also like a commercial director when he's not losing money, I guess, playing in a touring pop punk band. And he made this McDonald's ad for the Olympics that was talking to people in different like international locations, and the ad starts with like, it's one of those things that's like simultaneously very depressing but also like sort of incredible in that comfort that it provides, where it's whoever the sort of central character in the ad is, and it's like documentary style, going around and asking people like directions, but he only speaks English and he's in all these like exotic locations where no one speaks English, and he's confused, and then eventually he's just like, McDonald's, and they're always like, oh yeah, McDonald's, it's right fucking over there. And it's like, you're like, oh my God, that sucks. Like, but also it's incredible. Like, there's this universal language that we sort of share that I guess is consumerism, and that's bad. But the idea that like ultimately every town is kind of just like your town, you know? And there are things about that are good, and there are things about that are bad, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just, for some reason, that opening two lines has always resonated in me. It always like pops into my head when I'm driving around. I love it. And then I think the other main thing for me is just having grown up outside Vancouver in Abbotsford and getting into going to shows, and especially like around this time being interested in Pacific Northwest music, whether it was like going to see Christian bands or just going to see the bands that would go to Seattle and not go to Vancouver. Like the I-5 was the highway that I would always be on. So we would always go on the I-5, and like that's kind of...
So this is like personal to you too.
Yeah, or you know, even driving down the West Coast to go to California on road trips, you're always on the I-5 unless you dip over to the coast, which is beautiful. But, you know, all I'm saying is like the naming of the highway too. I'm like, damn, that's me. I've been southbound on I-5. Those same white lines, you know, going down to Anacortes. You know
these white lines. Like, you've stared at the same white lines as Mike Herrera.
Exactly. And then like I'm driving to like see Mount Erie at Department of Safety in Anacortes, but I'm still secretly thinking of this MxPx song the whole time.
You're listening to MxPx on your way to Mount Erie.
Yeah, like it's just, I
the
love
Josiah
that.
special. Yeah.
I also think windows down music on the stereo, pretty bad. And that's kind of like windows down music on the stereo, I'm driving and I'm dreaming. I think that's what MxPx leaned into at the worst of their major label days when they're really trying hard. And that's kind of like too generically Sugar Ray or Smash Mouth kind of lyrics. But the specificity of the rest of it, I love. And I also love that it ends with playing every night with the occasional fight. That's just like, it's so cute. I don't know. It's just such a cute song.
I like the idea that it gets more specific. I was like, when it says that they're going to hang out and have fun and then go back to the beach in the sun.
Yeah, I completely gloss over that entirely.
It's like, I think after like you're like I-5, then you do stop listening to it because being on the road a while, I got to get back to a place with style. You're like, damn, that's true.
I mean, but literally those are the depths of Mike Herrera's lyrics in the Christian era. So it's just so funny to be like, I fucking hate these guys.
I know.
Basically, you're listening to Jerry Falwell or something. And then it's like, well, you know, it's just a guy who's like, I'm having fun in the sun, looking cool with my buds.
And I'm like, this guy is evil.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, part of some sort of massive hate complex.
I'm just honestly, for me though, it really does come back to the outro, and I think the outro is so beautiful. And I just wanted to show you. So, the other thing that I like about this song is that it's existed in many different forms. And so there's this version, but then there's also, and I actually think this is, if you're not into MxPx, this is very controversial because I think Tooth and Nail released this. Like the beautiful thing about Tooth and Nail also is that they're basically like low-key, almost Victory Records vibes back then of like fighting with their artists and stuff.
Thieves, yeah.
Yeah, so
allegedly thieves.
Yeah,
sorry.
Like MxPx were picked up by, I believe, I can't remember. What is it called? What's the major label called that they were on?
EMI?
I don't think it was I want to say A&E, but that's because I'm thinking of the Tom DeLonge show. A&M, which I don't think exists anymore.
I was like, are we doing a bit right now? No, A&M doesn't exist, yeah.
Oh, dissolved into Universal Music Group, so you basically own it.
Yeah, I do.
There's a video that I've talked about last week.
My career in my pocket right now.
Next time we stream, we're going to watch this video of like Tom Fest in the Pacific Northwest, right when MxPx signed to A&M. Everyone was so pissed, thinking that they turned their back on Christian music by leaving Tooth and Nail. It's incredible. But anyways, so they left for A&M, and then I think Tooth and Nail was like so pissed that they basically just like released a whole compilation of MxPx demos to complete their contract. But it's kind of like, I think it was considered like not an official release. I also could be wrong, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
As far as I can tell, everything is gospel. So
literally. So anyways,
interesting.
There's this compilation called Let It Happen that's on Tooth and Nail, and I think kind of it's maybe the best entry point into MxPx because it's super raw and like super badass, and there's tons of songs, and the cover art is really cool with the Poconacha guy who is like kind of what Eddie is to Iron Maiden is to MxPx, this little doodle man that like is so easy to draw on your binder.
He is cool. It's a cool logo.
Yeah. So anyways, this song exists. The demo is on Let It Happen, but for some reason I was asking MxPx Memes, who's the MxPx scholar in our midst. Apparently this is just a typo from streaming because the CD is not like this, but in all streaming services it's called Southbound for the demo. It's all the same.
Weird.
I also just love how the song is like not even mid-tempo. It's almost low tempo. It's just like kind of like it's kind of badass.
Sorry, this demo. See, this is better.
It is better, and I always thought this when I was a kid. They're so good at harmonies too.
Oh my god. Why doesn't it sound like this? Why does it sound like that?
I'm on the show Banesplain this week on Spotify, and we talk about the Blink song. We talk about Blink 182. We talk about the Blink song Lemmings, and kind of how Lemmings were part of the zeitgeist in the 90s because of the computer game Lemmings. And it's also like something about the harmonies in MxPx have always reminded me of like what I am like. They sound like what Lemmings look like to me in a way. Like they just kind of like.
That's a very interesting theory.
Yeah, but anyways, I do agree, and I love this part. That little dun like the other pop punk bands don't do that like rocker move that they do. I agree that this part's better, but unfortunately
is the outro not as good?
See, imagine Lemmings. The outro, they didn't go soft with it, and that's the problem.
Damn, it's the real, it's the monkey's paw.
Yeah.
I wish the song was more raw, but
I mean, it still sounds pretty sick, but
I mean, this would be such a sick Dude Ranch part. You know?
It really is a Dude Ranch part.
I just really wish this was on Dude Ranch. Because also, like, you know, the production on Life in General as it actually exists is like somewhere between Dude Ranch and Enema of the State in terms of its like shininess. Like, I wish that it just sounded. I wonder if I'd have an easier time getting into this record as a grown up if it sounded like Dude Ranch.
Well, I'm not going to play it because we don't really need to play it, but there's also, because again, Tooth and Nail being kind of the Tony Victory / Suge Knight of Christian music that they allegedly were, MxPx didn't have the rights to the album for a while, so they re-recorded it in 2016 for its 20th anniversary. So there's also like a fresh recording of it. It's kind of like a Taylor's version, so to speak.
Oh.
But we don't need to play it. But they'd make it quiet again. But it is slicker. But I think you're right about the interesting thing about you saying that is, I don't know if you realize the guy that produced it is named Steve Kravik or something. And he engineered Cheshire Cat, actually.
Oh, shit. I clicked on him sort of as we were kind of talking about it. Canadian boy.
Yeah, he's also big time Canadian, and he still records bands in Vancouver. He's worked with Homegrown, Less Than Jake. He's kind of became like a pop punk guy, big time.
Yeah. Oh, he went to Concordia in Montreal. He's your friend.
Yeah, and he's also like a Burnaby boy.
Oh, he was in a band with Alex Soria, like from the Nils? Damn.
Yeah.
Big time Canadian. Big time.
Big time Canadian punker. So and I think MxPx Memes was telling me that like they had initially recorded the album with the guy that did the album before Teenage Politics, which is like so hilarious. If this sounds like Lemmings to me, then the one before like sounds like Muppet Babies or something. Like it's just like so hilariously childish. And also I think there is actual Bible verses in the songs. So maybe it was earned. Maybe I've just blocked it out. The critique of them. There's one where he's like, Ephesians verse to the United States, God believes in man. I can't remember the words, but it's really funny.
That's tough.
But apparently they're like, no, these songs are slicker. We need to go one step slicker. And so in their world, going slicker meant getting the guy who did Cheshire Cat, which is, I mean, yeah. I actually thought
their sellout move.
I really do think Life in General is produced perfectly. And I think the clean guitar is a sign of that. Like, I don't know. I love that outro so much. Like the outro is like what I want all music to be. I think it's like my favorite outro ever. And maybe I don't even notice outros that often. People don't do outros well often enough either.
I don't know. What about Hey Jude? What do we think the difference between an outro and a coda is in the context of a pop song? Because I've often said that, like, the Bleeding Heart Show, New Pornographers. Coda, outro, same, different. He did, okay, so the Less Than Jake album that he did is Borders and Boundaries, which is, like, definitely when Less Than Jake falls off, too. I think maybe I just don't like Steve Kravik's vibe.
Maybe I'm realizing that I picked the wrong first song from Life in General to show you, or maybe it's just never going to happen, but...
I don't know that it's, this is a song where, like, immediately I thought I'm excited to hear the covers because I just know, like, the lyrics, they're, like, perfectly corny and the kind of shit that I love. Melodically, there's this interesting stuff happened. There is this fucking sick outro. I can't get past Mike Herrera's voice. It's like, and I say this as someone who likes Newfound Glory. Like, I know objectively that I like things that are more annoying vocally or things that are more Christian, they just became emblematic of
MxPx is just like not Christian or annoying enough to break through. It's like two in the middle zone of annoying and Christian.
I feel bad for them, just sitting there. But like, no, that outro, the outro sounds like because it sounds like a Lost Dude Ranch piece, and so I can see why you love it, and I can see why I fucking reacted to it so well, Well, it's just maybe, and the idea that that's how the whole album ends is also quite sick.
Yeah, I'm so glad they cleaned it up too. Like I think the distorted guitar on the demo just doesn't really cut it. Whereas I agree that the rawness of the rest of it really highlights the Lemmings singing.
Huge like me clicking on a little green-haired buddy trying to get them to like stop the other ones. I just want to look at Lemmings right now.
I do.
Like, I want to look at a screenshot from the Lemmings computer game and just like, oh, what an amazing aesthetic! Like, bring back this look.
I think there's plenty of really shitty indie games you can spend $25 on and never play again that have the exact look.
You know what? This is what happens is whenever I decide I'm going to like get into games, I like see an image that looks like this Lemmings screen grab, and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, bye.
That's really comforting.
And yeah, isn't it? Like, it's just, oh.
The way that the clouds are up top too, like you kind of want to go up there also.
I know, but you got to get them down there. That's what's so complicated.
Okay, but I think, I do want to say one more thing about the song, which is I just think we need to pay attention to how it very first comes in, because it's like pretty badass still. It has like a little bit of leather jacket Ramones core energy, I think, tiny bit. Like that's a
bow bow, yeah.
There's a little slide. Boom, boom.
Same old town with a different name. That's fine by me. There's only one place.
Like, I think it's Ramonesy a little bit.
It's and it's that like, it's basically like KKK Took My Baby Away. Like, and it is the same sort of tempo as a lot of the like mid-tempo Ramones stuff. This is straight up Ramones core. I think you're right.
But then with like
you love Ramones core,
but with the blue and orange Dude Ranch hue at the end, it's like Ramones core that turns into this kind of dreamy indie song at the end. Damn. And I think the chorus is not Ramones core too. When it like then it becomes a little bit Green Day-ish maybe.
No, but yeah, because then they're like boom, 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 like it is. So it's like Ramones, and then it's because the chorus, like those harmonies, very much feel like Billy Joe and Mike Dirnt, kind of like locked in shit. Is one of the other guys in the band doing the harms, or is that Mike on mic?
No, that's Tom. Tom is they have a Tom guitarist as well, although unlike the Tom and Blink, this is their second guitarist. There was a different guy named Andy on the first album and the demo that like everyone's forgotten about. But Tom is their guy. And then now they have a fourth guy too, so that's another Green Day thing, is that they've got like a fourth guy.
Damn, they have a secret guy. Is the secret guy also very credible?
They found their unicorn. Looking for a fourth. Well, actually, I want to talk about Modern MxPx quickly because I just kind of vibed it out that I wanted to do this song this week. I just knew that I wanted this to be the first time. I think it's just like, I think
you also wanted to do this. I think it's important. I feel like there was hints of like, you were like, maybe I want to do an MxPx song, or this was not conceived of as Christian music 3 weeks, right? Like, I feel like I just did Further Seems Forever, on the heels of doing the Dashboard pod, and then us doing whatever the fuck the song was we did before that. Jesus, I've already forgotten it.
Wake the Dead.
This does kind of all feel like an accident. Like, and you wanted to talk about MxPx.
Yeah.
Which I love. Like, because we've hinted at MxPx, and it's also, I feel like we actually have to do more than one MxPx episode because we're not going to be able to deal with the sort of totality of this band's influence in general, and also probably the totality of their influence on you.
No, exactly. But I think it's honestly this. It's just that confidence, the energy. Like, yeah. I just feel like it's like they're like, yeah, we're gonna write a song that has basically no lyrics. Most of them are filler, but then there's like 3 sick references, and then half of the song is an outro, and like it's just so like ballsy to me. It's so confident somehow. I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, knowing that I wanted to do this song, I didn't realize that there was going to be a new MxPx song out this week, and it's called "Can't Keep Waiting." And it's pretty long, but of course, if you skip ahead to the 155 mark, you get exactly the relevance that we need. But I think, according to my scholarly MxPx memes, I think this is the first time they've brought back the outro format since then. So it's kind of like,
I like that you checked for accuracy, though.
Exactly. So we'll hear a little bit of the regular song. There's a new guy involved too, but it's still the original. Well, not the original, but the MxPx3. So it's them.
The MxPx3 makes them sound like domestic terrorists / freedom fighters.
Maybe
depending
they
on which
are.
side you're on. Yeah.
If you're the kind of person
Free
who likes
the MxPx3 now. Yeah, exactly. Propaganda is a great song about the MxPx3.
I kind of feel like his voice is sounding pretty good lately.
Can't keep waiting for what's next.
Yeah,
while
this
the
is
world
better.
keeps changing. I'm just hoping for the best with days so strange.
Yeah, straight up, I fucking like
Headlines we
this.
never would.
Current MxPx is like actually really good at nailing the best parts. But let's check this out.
Waiting for what's next.
Look, they even changed the
Change up the
tempo.
fucking tempo?
It's a breakdown.
Okay.
He's a sick bass player too.
Yo, this is really good. Hold on, I'm adding this song to my
Maybe you just like new MxPx.
live. Yeah. Are they still Christian?
I don't think so.
Doesn't he have a pod that's about that?
I don't think his pod's about that, but David Bazan went on his podcast, which was like a huge, huge moment specifically just for me. But yeah, so I mean, it's outro season for MxPx this week. Wow. So I mean, you got to respect that magic in the air.
Straight up, that song was pretty tight. His voice is not as annoying.
I think his voice is better on Life in General. But you know what?
Is it?
We could just keep talking around these things. I think we got to figure out where Sam's at by getting into the covers.
Ooh, let's get into them, man.
Sam, how do people cover the songs again if they want to? I'm not me. I know how to do it.
You know how, but let's just assume.
Actually, let's say one thing real quick. If we reach our very next goal on Patreon, we're going to cover 10 songs together.
Yeah, that's right. The collaboration album. It's going to be like Watch the Throne.
It's going to be like Watch the Throne with less slurs, I think, probably, if I have my say.
Interestingly enough, I intend to have more slurs. We will be using all the words that were so not only will we be producing a covers album, but we will be saying all the words that you
all right.
absolutely
Moving along.
Okay, listen, if for some reason you're like, yeah, these guys definitely deserve my money now. Patreon.com/155pod. Get on the Discord. Newsletter will tell you which song we're covering. You get 72 hours. Everything we're going to hear was recorded in a weekend. The people who listen to this.
You hear that? He didn't say a
show.
week. He said a weekend.
That's right. Just the end, the butt end of the week. The part that people just throw out into
Everyone
the trash.
hates that shit.
Yeah. So the word people burn the worst part of their week to cover these songs. Super helpful shit always happening on the Discord. And that's just one of the many, benefits. We're also getting into our wild card pick for Green May we were just talking about. So one of the things you get to pick one of the songs we do every week. It's just all kinds of just incredible benefits.
It's true. So let's start with the cover. I never know what to do when we're so pro for like 1 second. It fucks me up so bad.
Clown College Dropout with their cover of Southbound, #release the James cut. I don't know what that means.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Now it's definitely a Wilco song.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard not to listen to lots of these.
I know.
It said release the James
I love
cut. It said release the James cut because Clown College Dropout forgot to submit the cover. And then as we started recording, I said, yeah, you can just, I was feeling gracious being that it is an accidental Christian month of music. I was feeling like extending grace to others as I've enjoyed in my life. So that's why.
Damn. You're a good guy, eh?
Long Bean's Mouth Sore, Southbound. I'm not super pleased with how this ended up sounding, but I've given up on my last several cover attempts. It's nice to finish something.
Hell yeah.
Of course. Please submit it whatever the fuck you want. We love it. Also, it already sounds perfect.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're also not pleased with how this sounds.
Yeah.
But I'm pleased. I'm fucking pleased as hell. Okay.
Yeah, see, this song has some, like...
It's got some fucking...
There's some shaggy energy to it that comes through in the...
This is nice. These are nice vibes. Also, we're so stuck in our homes, right? I mean, I'm at least allowed to leave after dark. But there's something really nice about these like carefree teenage anthems to like
Exactly.
like traveling anywhere, going any fucking place.
I was thinking about the I-5 leading up to this episode, and I was remembering, one of my first ever hardcore shows was American Nightmare with Converge and The Hope Conspiracy, and I think it was like Thrice's first show or something.
Shit.
And so that was like at the Paradox Theater in Seattle. And this guy that went to the Christian university my dad worked at, like, took me with him when I was 15 because he had just showed me Jane Doe. Like, it was like the Jane Doe tour. So it blew my fucking mind. And then I became obsessed with going to shows in Seattle all the time. And so I remember, like, taking our Mazda minivan and driving to Seattle with a whole group of friends to see American Nightmare, who were at the time called American Nothing, to see them open for Glassjaw at the venue Graceland. So we just like drove forever on the I-5, and we got there at like 9:30 or 10. And I was just like such a stupid teen, as I still am now. And I just assumed that we'd be able to pay at the door and get in, but it was completely sold out. So then like just 8 of us just like got Dick's Burgers and turned around and drove home. It's like,
I bet it was still awesome though.
It was so fun. I mean, it's a great memory, but it was just like so stupid.
What I do love about that is I can see you doing that today.
Exactly.
And I think it's important to I think there's something admirable about consistency. I mean,
people love to acknowledge
the
growth, but I feel like sort of acknowledging a plateau is a nice thing too.
We spent about 4 years acknowledging our own plateaus, you know?
Okay, Todd Panderings is here. Made a little sample jam of the boys, jammed along on Woody, the guitar, acoustic guitar, empty iced coffee, violin, harmonica, and a big dried gourd.
Yes. Oh, I feel like I saw the gourd on Instagram, right?
I think I saw the iced coffee.
Oh, that's what it was. I was peeing and looking at my phone.
Oh, but he's really jamming up the outro. Okay, I'm already calling shotgun on like turning this outro into like a 12-minute jammer if we get our covers comp. Like this is gonna be like Cortez the Killer.
Yes.
Oh,
this is really fucking sick.
I just immediately lost already. I'm becoming a deadhead, but just for I'm becoming a bound head. Oh, beautiful.
Wow. Thank you. Todd Panderings. That was perfectly pandered.
Okay, the baggage handlers. It's a little less polished than I was aiming for. Good.
Oh. I don't know. I don't think I want this more polished. This feels like how this is supposed to sound.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man.
These covers are just making me not want to gloat to you right now about how good this song is.
I told you I thought the covers were going to be good.
It's true.
Plus, I don't know how many of these people are Christians, so I'm not sure who to hate.
Guitar is so nice.
Yeah, and that just like the drum loop sound, that was incredible. I would love to know on some level like what was the intended sound, because this seems like one of those things where accidentally that is the best version.
Yeah,
of what the attempt was. I think
that sounded kind of like Lab Coast to me, who I've just been listening to all day because they're my favorite. But yeah, that had like that hit hard.
Yeah.
Okay, Trevor Impersonator. MxPx was my first punk band. This cover is written in loving memory of tour. To the old van, I love you to the moon. You left us with beautiful memories, joy, and laughter. Though we cannot see you, you are always by our side. Rust in parts, old friend.
Hell yeah.
Also,
Do you have a
said I
van?
love you.
Josiah, do you have like a van?
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't name it, but Grown Ups had like a. I think it was a GMC or something.
Yeah. So did we. I want to see a picture of your van.
Let's see if I can find it. We did like an ET shaped lathe record for Scotch tapes that I drew the van on the cover of it. Actually, I
And
think
we definitely have shirts with our van on the front. Because that's who you are at that time.
Yeah, I mean,
This is really sick. Once again, the Wilco-ness, you know?
totally. Yeah, on the cover of our anthology, there's a drawing I did of our van. It's on the top left corner with ET guiding it across the moon.
Yes. Camera.
This is so sick.
This is like gorgeous. This similarly, like, I know it's not, but it has the energy of the outro, you know?
Exactly like
Again,
that.
just these white lines that go on forever and ever, man.
Yes. I can hear the outro of it. Oh, I played it for too long. I was getting lost between those lines. Beautiful.
I just like, I'm having such a good time. Like, I was like, ooh, this is great. Like, I'm hitting the pan. I just ate a gummy. Like, I'm ready to.
Oh, shit. You're vibing.
Yeah, I'm like, these covers are good, man. Like, let's go.
Now I'm just looking for, I guess I should keep leading the episode. Now I'm trying to find photos of the Grown Ups fan. This is the band Yeah He Dies, a collaboration with another MVP of the cover section and of the Discord. I'll see you later. I guess Dwight from Yeah He Dies was moving house, which makes me think that this band is British maybe, because I feel like that's a British thing to say instead of saying moving, you know? You think?
Moving house. Yeah,
Would
that's
you say
very
that?
British. I would never say I was moving house because I'm not in jolly old England.
That's true. I would probably say...
It would be a lie. If I was moving from my house in London to another house in London, I might say.
Okay, here's Yeah He Dies.
Man, it's all the same. Same old town with a different name. But like, that's fine by me. There's only one place that I really want to be. Southbound on I-5, windows down, the music on stereo. I'm driving and I'm dreaming. There's no place I'd rather go. Staring at the white lines on the side of the road.
I'm trying to...
It works in that
It
context.
does. It really does.
I'm just like, oh, yeah, all right, cool.
Just every single person on earth is telling you to love this song.
Listen, I'm not willing to hear it yet. But I'm
Hortex.
doing everything I can, you know.
This is an intervention about MxPx, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is a intervention MxPx. This is a intervention MxPx. Intervention MX. Life. This is a life life intervention.
That was you just like whispering. I was like, this is getting kind of spooky. I couldn't tell what the gag was. Hortex.
Apparently, this is made in 45 minutes.
The outro sucks. They've apologized to us.
I mean, this is sick.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think, again, it's like there's a fairly rich way of interpreting these songs. Oh, damn, Josiah, look at this photo of you in the van.
I
This is
know,
great.
right? Little baby
I
me.
can't, I'm having trouble finding a photo, so I literally just messaged the whole band, and I was like, somebody send me a photo of the Gladiator.
What was it called?
The Gladiator. It was a camper van. It was
yeah.
a converted camper van. It was a GMC Gladiator.
Oh,
1985.
See, ours was just like a family van because there's only 3 of us. We just fit our amps and drums in the back.
Okay.
I mean, look, you know what? I think that was great. Oh, and you're an artist
I
name
was
is
vibing.
Vortex. I'm into that. It's great.
I like what's happening.
Okay, Dr. Bugman 30. Sam always asks what Dr. Bugman 30 is up to, and unfortunately, it's shit like this.
Yeah.
This sounds like the long lost Mike Herrera MTV reality show.
What was his reality show?
I'm just saying there should have been one.
Oh, I thought maybe he did have like one season or
That'd be
something.
sick. He does have a episode of a home renovation show. I forget what it's called. The one with like the really annoying guy. That's all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Fixer Upper. He was on Fixer Upper.
I like that the last few have been really like
Like kind of trolly.
deconstructed. Yeah, totally.
Because I feel like that's more what I would expect from Dr. Bugman 30, knowing kind of what he gets up to outside of the pod. But usually his covers are like very heartbreaking and like overly emotional in a wonderful way. But I'm happy to see this other side of Dr. Bugman 30 coming back as well, you know?
I feel like, now maybe we're ready to move on to Dr. Bugman 31.
I think it's time. Okay, here's Fish Tricks.
Okay.
That's a cool way to interpret the chorus. The thing that's peculiar about that is like to be crafting this amazing kind of like Don Cab pop music already is impressive, but then like is Fish Tricks just like doing that one instrument at a time and being like, okay, now the guitars are going to be vibing out with the bass, or just going to be doing that. Like that's so complicated.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how you arrange that as one person. That feels like. Do you map it? Like, does that get? Are you charting it out before you start? I don't know.
So good. All right, Shoes Robinson. Okay, another thing. There's so much like fucking. This show is soon just going to be us kind of plugging ourselves
Promoting
the whole time.
different.
But
yeah.
This is so cool because Shoes makes incredible covers every week. And now Shoes has the keys to our Twitch. So every Tuesday, Shoes is going to walk through how he made the cover. So I guess when you hear this, the following Tuesday on our Twitch page, 155 pod or whatever the fuck.
Shoes Day.
It's Shoes Day. And so he'll explain how he made whatever this is. Whoa. Yes. A little bit of city pop going on, maybe? Oh.
I feel like Shoes and stuff keeps getting better.
It's all the same.
Okay.
Same old story with a different name. It's not about me. It's all I want is that I wanna be. Southbound.
This is ridiculous.
Disgusting. I'm mad now. I'm not even having fun
It
anymore.
sucks to turn that one off. That really hurts my feelings.
Well,
But
and another thing that we haven't promoted yet, Mondays, every Monday, all these songs come out on Bandcamp, and they are free, and you can listen to all of these songs in their entirety, none of us fucking talking over them.
can someone come up with like a
stopping.
rhyme to explain all the things we have to plug, like bed mass or something? But like,
Yeah, okay, that's because, so Monday the comps come out, Tuesday the exclusives come out,
and Tuesday.
And Tuesday. So there's two things on Tuesday. Wednesday, is Wednesday really when the episode comes out early for patrons, which is, by the way, not something we've mentioned yet?
Kinda.
Is that
Well, I put it
when
at,
do you
yeah,
have to go
it's
out?
11:55. I mean, Wednesday's also
Okay.
Globe Health Day, but that's a different. That's a
So
whole
Wednesday,
different thing.
Globe Hell comes out. Thursday/Wednesday, you get the pod early if you're on Patreon, and you're going to get a newsletter now that'll tell you the song for next week. Friday, the free plebeian version of the pod comes
Yeah.
out.
Saturday, you can take off.
Saturday, you record your cover. Sunday, you record your cover. Monday, you submit your cover, and it starts again.
Yeah, I mean, the deadline for covers is Sunday at midnight, technically.
Okay,
but,
so Sunday you
I'm-
submit your cover, and Monday we're back to.
It's a whole
to-
week. It's an entire week.
It's an entire week of content that you generate for us, and we are grateful for that.
Here's DRMC.
So-
Dude Ranch Means Come. Southbound.
Yes.
Putting the band back together.
It's all the same old town with a different name. That's fine by me. There's only one place that I wanna be. Southbound on I-5. Windows down and music on the stereo. I'm driving or dreaming. There's no place I'd rather go. Staring at white lines on the side of the road.
Christ, man.
Been on the road a while.
What the hell was that? That was insane. Also, like, this is more for the Discord, but I do think I need to, like, spend an afternoon listening to everyone's, like, original music. Like, is DRMC, like, has this guy just been secretly waiting for this to exist so he can do perfect, like, tailor-made for us? Or
Yeah, there is like a music channel on the Discord, and a lot of it's people kind of sharing whatever, but then it is people sometimes sharing their own stuff or stuff that their friends are into. But like, I actually want like I think you're almost right where it's like, can we just have a dedicated day where there's like no noise and we just like on the weekend sometime like hang out on the Discord and just like go through everyone's
like, everyone just
original
post your
music?
best song or whatever.
Yeah, everyone's best song, and we just spend like a Saturday on the Discord, like
mean-
all just logged in.
The whole week is scheduled already, but we'll find time for
I
it.
know we got no time. Maybe we'll do it on like a leap year, you know?
Okay, this one's really cute. So this is called Southbound is the name of the artist. And the artist is Southbound, and then the song is Southbound. And they write, over the pandemic, my partner and I moved north about 4 hours on the I-5 corridor. Since then, two of our best friends fell in love with each other. So this cover is for those guys. Holy shit. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hate that, like, also, like, now there's been multiple times where I'm getting, like shivers or, like, goosebumps. Like, I'm getting emotionally moved by them is
Yeah.
the new thing, too, which is kind of like, I don't want to be showing that side of myself on this post-ironic podcast, you know?
I'm disgusted. Whenever I sense that you're about to express real emotion, I think, "Ugh." Like I feel like we're looking at each other's dicks.
Do you want to?
It's just too much. Not that it would be gross. It's like it's just too much. It's too much intimacy, you know?
The Sally, that was beautiful, by the way. I'm just joking. I loved it.
No,
And
that was incredible. I think this is maybe.
Is he going to say it? Is he going to say
No,
it?
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to do it. Let's keep going.
The Sallys. It's been since the Teenage Anarchist week, but we're back. Start at the beginning. Okay, well, I'm not going to hear about all. Oh, yeah, okay, so there is a guitar solo, but you have to wait till Bandcamp Monday to hear that. So here's the Sally Southbound 95.
That's good. I like the idea of teasing the part that they know we won't play on the pod.
Ooh.
Same old town with a different name. That's fine by me.
Is this what the Teenage Anarchist one sounded like too?
I don't think so.
Southbound 95.
Yes.
Windows down and music on the stereo. Driving and I'm dreaming.
This is amazing.
Place I'd rather go. Staring at white lines
That upright bass.
on the side of the road.
I feel like that is real upright bass. I feel like I saw somebody say they were busting out an upright bass this week.
Oh, that does not sound like MIDI, man.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the rest of that one. Incredible.
Yeah, that was. And I really like knowing that the second half of that has a guitar solo.
I know. That's killing
very
me.
interesting to me because without that being in the description, I would have said, "What do you think?" I mean, maybe a trumpet is like the craziest thing.
Or like
thought.
that instrument that's in the Beck song Tropicalia. That's like ooh, 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 ooh. It like sounds like wiping, kind of. I don't know what that is, and I'm sure you don't know the Beck song Tropicalia, but it's kind of a wiping sound that's in Tropicalia sounding music.
Wiping, yeah. Yeah. It's oh fuck. I want to call it the guava, but that's not it.
Here's Commitment Phobe. This is my friend Kristen, Commitment Phobe, who I believe Commitment Phobe was a star of Gobuary. I think there's been another I can't remember. Anyways, here's Commitment Phobe. Oh yes.
Oh man.
On the side of the road.
Do you think surf music could come back? Maybe.
Yeah, I think if we all believed enough.
But I think it should come back. But it's about surfing the internet, maybe.
Oh, okay. So
Also,
the next evolution in surf music.
I think the sound is it called a kuika? Is that the drum?
No.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm talking
Is
about.
it?
I'm playing.
No, send me a photo. Send me a photo this weekend.
I don't have Watch Together up anymore, but this is.
Oh, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
But listen to it. That's what I would absolutely hear on that 2 covers ago. This
Okay,
is
hold
just
on.
a
I'm
mess.
opening up this Kuika. Oh, yeah, that's not the thing I was thinking of at all. That's a very different sound. I was thinking of
Oh yeah. But we've already moved on to surf music, and Kristen, that was beautiful. I loved it.
That was
It
incredible.
so sick.
It didn't sound that much like surf to me. Like it sounded, yeah, but it had like
It did. You're right.
It had the energy of the beach was infused in it.
It sounded to me like a sort of like the Archies or something, or like it had like surf energy via Saturday morning cartoons, maybe via '90s Mint Records, Lookout Records. So like
Exactly. It had the look at Mint vibe to me, but like surf adjacent.
exactly, yeah, totally. Okay, Shawn Mendes, Warrior's best friend. Sunday outro noon in the backyard, a tribute to soothing. I don't know what that means. I mean, that hits for me. That hits the spot. Absolutely.
Now that I am familiar with the outro, I also feel quite hit by that.
right?
I've been knocked right over. I mean, that's just like a really nice energy, right?
Oh, the beautiful, the dogs barking. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. Okay, the next one is called Japan MxPx. This is the Roxhow guy. I'm gonna send you the art that comes with it because I think you're gonna immediately understand why it's called what it is.
Okay. Okay, I get it. I get the joke.
It says "Celebrate Rocks" instead of whatever this is. It called "Celebration Rock."
Yeah, come on, you know.
I honestly have never. I've heard like a couple. This band is not my vibe at all. But I'm curious. Maybe this will be the one that pushes it over into being a full Sammy song. So this is Japan MxPx Northeast Southbound West is what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Is that?
Well, I finally get it now.
I feel
I will
like
say that is like a very strong approximation of Japandroids.
Yeah, I can't remember them well enough because I can't stomach them, to be honest.
No, that's exactly how they sound.
I like that. I love the
harmonies and everything. Yeah.
So they kind of almost sound like rural Alberta Advantage a little bit.
Well, yeah, they're like rural Alberta Advantage, but like if rural Alberta Advantage was like trying to cover Latterman
with like darker denim, I think is the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, they're like a misogynist rural Alberta Advantage, but like,
wait, are you calling them misogynist right now?
No. I'm just saying like maybe that's the vibe.
Oh, like for misogynists.
Yeah. Exactly,
I mean, to be clear. Most indie music is
like
for misogynists.
There's a woman in the band. Yeah, no, I mean, that's true. Misogynists are the biggest demographic of music consumers.
This is a great part. This is a great part to be talking about specifically Canadian bands. Not to mention one where I think the members are lawyers. So it's great.
No, the members of lawyers are all in the other band that I'm deliberately not saying anything negative about.
So that was Japan.
It's just literally a band of lawyers. Every Toronto indie band had like 3 lawyers in it.
That's what you do in Canada. You use, because I mean, once you know how to do lawyer shit, it's easy to write a grant application. I'm pretty sure. That's all you got to do.
It's funny. I definitely remember like being younger and being like, how do all these people have enough money to like put all this money? They're touring all the time and they're going to law school. And then like eventually you're like, oh, right. That's how people have enough money to do that.
I like this next artist name is I'm Too Sad to Tell You, which is just like already my interest is peaked. And I think this is just the outro. So I mean,
just the outro. Yeah.
Yes.
This is truly the like, what if the whole plane was made out of the black box cover section?
Oh, and I love it. I mean, I respect how good the Japandroids ripoff was, but this is definitely more. This is more my vibe here. Oh,
yeah, this is a start.
Yes. It's like full on an Illuvium cover. This is like Tooth and Nail meets Temporary Residence LTD. Oh, that's hard to stop. Very hard to stop.
Yeah, that was sick. I want to know who's too sad.
Me too. I think
I'm intrigued.
I have some guesses because it sounds like some other submissions from before, but you know, I don't want to impede on someone if they're too sad to tell us. So, okay, this is called Mouthbound. It's by Daddy Long Arms featuring Hot Laundry. New patron, old fan, Long Arms. I don't really know how to play or read music, but I really wanted to try a cover. Okay, already, fuck yes. Everyone, if you're in the Discord, we would love to hear your cover. Like, just make this section way too long for us because we love it. It's been such a fascinating and honestly humbling experience to hear all these interpretations.
It's my favorite part of the podcast. It is my favorite part of doing this every time.
It's so sick. I had also never listened to MxPx until this week, but they really go. So here's Daddy Long Arms with some vocals and keys, and then a guest named Hot Laundry doing vocals, and then they mix it together. Yeah, and they're using stems from Unentitled, who's the user that uploads stems for every song each week to just make it easier. So, yes. Hell yeah, I'm so excited. So I'm going to skip ahead to 40 seconds as requested. Thank you, Daddy Longarms, and I'm so excited to hear your first submission.
Been on the road a while.
Gotta get back to the place with style.
Hang out, having fun.
Gotta get back to the beach in the sun. Southbound I-5. Windows down and music on stereo.
I love the keyboard forward vibe is
So cute.
it makes it like extremely 90s.
But then, like, with the original track in the background too.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I would have put this on a 7-inch.
Yeah.
Whoa. Is that a timpani?
I thought it was a gong, but that's definitely a timpani.
Whoa, that's sick. That gives it the energy of A Man Needs a Maid from Harvest by Neil Young.
Totally, yeah.
That was incredible.
While we're on that Neil Young tip, yes. I want to say, so sick. Always got people are like submitting, and more timpani though. Everyone is maybe my note.
More timpani
for everyone. Yeah,
that was so good. All right, Diana Spouse, Southbound, featuring a Highway Field recording from Althea later. Althea is on everyone's tracks this week.
It's all the same old town, but a different name. Southbound on the I-5.
Whoa.
It's alright by me. Just one place I wanna be.
So it's just like a perfect gospel song now.
On the I-5.
that's basically sounds like a Carter thing. or something. This is sort of shit where I hear this and I'm like, maybe they're right.
Maybe who's right?
The Christians.
Well, yeah. I mean, everyone's going to come to that realization one day. Just
Yeah, I
if you
guess.
want to be southbound on the I-5 or southbound on the escalator to hell.
Wait, yeah, is this a metaphor?
I don't think it is, actually, but that would be cool if it was.
So it took us until this part to
Look, I was
get
just
there?
I just wanted to talk about like how it makes me think of baby blue and orange together as colors. That's all I wanted to say, and how I love the outro. I'm just like chilling this week, you know. I don't have anything big to say. All right, Sparkling Water. Caleb has submitted this. If you want to right click, this is for Sam only, so everyone just don't try right clicking.
people at home can right click also.
If you want to right click something and maybe save link as, it'll be a HTML probably, or no. But Sam, you can open the PDF here on the next submission.
Wow.
Because Caleb has included the score, so we can, I guess, I don't really know. Oh, I mean, I can't read music. Can you?
No, absolutely not.
All right. Well, but that does make me feel smarter just having it open while we play this. So here's Sparkling Water with Southbound.
It's all the same, altered with a different name. That's fine by me.
It's like Joan of Arc.
Totally. I feel smarter.
Southbound on I-5 with windows down and music.
Ooh.
Stereo.
very sick. This is like, I'm going to leave the last 10 seconds out because it's kind of a cliffhanger for me. But this is like, when people talk about like new music, but they don't mean like new music, they mean like new
music.
Yeah, like capital N and M. Like, fuck yeah. Finally, we've elevated to this level.
No, this is like art. This is 100% we are experiencing art right now.
We are.
So it's a beautiful thing.
And you found your van. Wow, that's a nice van.
Yeah. Although, so I ended up hitting up the thread, and almost all the photos that we have of it are just it breaking down. Here's a woman performing Reiki on it when it's broken down.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Our van like almost never broke down. We drove it from coast to coast in a year, and it was a $1,000 van, and we just needed a new alternator the whole way.
This is the problem with buying a van that is like partially a sick vibe. It's not necessarily always the most practical. There it is on the back of a truck being towed because the Reiki didn't work.
It's just me and Sam right-clicking and looking at things together. It's very good.
Just talking bass, man. Talking about being Southbound.
All right, wood chips, Southbound. Let's go.
Southbound, actually.
It does say Southbound.
So I'm thinking maybe this is about everyone's favorite secret agent.
If he was down under. Whoa. Really good, like, emo voice.
Yeah. But, like, the beat was like the perfect emo beat.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yes.
Honestly, even the filler words in this song are tight as hell. I love them. The song rules. Man, Sam
Mike Herrera, just a master wordsmith.
We'll talk about this in the Discord later, you guys, but Sam is so dumb.
Wait, I'm here right now. I'm going to be logged in all the time, so no one can ever say anything bad about me again.
Tightrope Tiger, Southbound.
It's all the same old town, different name. That's fine by me. There's only one place where I wanna be. Southbound on I-5. Windows down and music in the stereo. I'm driving and I'm dreaming. There's no place I'd rather go.
Harms.
Staring
on
the side of the road.
The fact that we can't hear all these outros is killing me.
We were just gonna. You want to just like just go back and just listen to the last minute of all the covers?
Yes.
Been on the road a while. Gotta get back to a place with style. Hang out and have fun.
You know, also like the filler words is like it's all the same old town with a different name. That's fun at first, but then been on the road a while. Got to get back to a place. I kind of get it. You know, between verse 1 and 2, he's gotten sick of everything being the same. So all the lyrics are good.
That's a great journey. I'm so glad to have been part of this experience of you realizing the song is even better than you thought.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Harsher of Mellotron, a.k.a. Teenage Stan Club, usually, a.k.a. Mark. This is Southbound Interlude. This is really healing something in my brain.
This is genuinely quite beautiful. That was fantastic.
That was so nice. Man, Mellotron, are you kidding me? All right.
Mellotron should be the only instrument you're allowed to use.
I agree. It sounds
Like I think they should just outlaw, or at least like the way that every band has a guitar player. Like it's just sort of like it's normal, and some it's like have a guitar. Who says you have a keyboard or whatever. Like
it should just be a Mellotron.
It should just be Mellotron. Like, can we just agree that we standardized rock and roll in the wrong way?
I mean, first of all, I agree also that the GarageBand Mellotron sounds perfect, but I have played a real Mellotron at the National Music Center in Calgary.
Yeah, I touched that Mellotron. We've touched the same Mellotron.
I mean, secretly, I'll say this now because it doesn't really matter, but we used to have band practice there in one of the bands I was in because my friend used to work there and had a key. And then something got knocked over or something, or
you broke the Phantom of the Paradise
I mean, I didn't. I don't think. I mean, I probably did. Knowing me, it was probably my fault somehow. But something got wrecked, and we weren't allowed to practice there anymore.
So, for people not familiar with the National Music Center, it is a museum / whatever art space in Calgary that houses I mean, I don't know what
Calgary fucking sucks, but that synth museum is way too cool. It's insanely cool.
Crazy the stuff that they have.
It's
just
so sick.
Mind blowing.
Tender Hell, who usually submits incredible covers, she works there too. So
really?
Yeah. And also there was another. Oh, and also, so this was what I'm describing, the band practicing that was at their old space before they built the multi-million-dollar ridiculous museum that it's in now. But at the old space, they also would have shows sometimes, and it was the band Glitter. So this huge Calgary hardcore festival called Garbage Days happened at the old National Music Center, and it was in this carpeted rec room, and Iron Lung played, and Gag, and all these sick bands played in there. And the local band Glitter, who are so sick, and they did some records on Lumpy Records and became Janitor Scum. I love them all the people in that band. They brought out for their set. They brought out deviled eggs and handed them out to the audience, and then all the deviled eggs ended up getting stomped into the carpet. And because of that night is where the phrase egg punk started being spoken. So it actually started at the National Music Center as well, which is kind of funny. The same place that has Rena McNeil's dress on display or whatever.
That rules, man. Also, the big Phantom of the Paradise thing, friend of the pod, Robin Hatch, she just did a residency there and
yeah, what's that called? What's that synth called again?
The Tonto.
The Tonto, because the guy that built it just died last week or a couple weeks ago too.
Just the most spectacularly science fiction looking keyboard in the entire world, and so I'm excited to hear what sort of comes from her.
We should have a whole pod. We should have we should get a grant to do a pod episode at the National Music Center, and everyone flies out and sleeps there. And then we all just cover some fucking stupid bullshit pop punk song.
Yo, we are doing art. That's a really good idea. That's
we do
I like everyone's before it's summer camp, which is I'm into this.
We do meditations on Skater Boy, and then it becomes a doc too. Oh, no one steal this idea. I mean, how could you? Because it belongs to all of us. All right,
sorry,
Baby Tyler.
We're all going to the National Music Center, everybody.
That hits so good.
This is so perfect for this place.
That is chunky. Okay, we got one left.
Just so perfect in that style.
It
that was really
so
great.
perfect. So I got to warn you, Sam. Our therapy session is coming close to the end. We got one left. Having just heard Baby Tyler's immaculate take on the song, how are you feeling about the song "Southbound" by MxPx?
I got to say, I don't know how I feel about the song "Southbound" by MxPx, but when it comes to Southbound by these sort of incredible people who listen to the podcast 155, I'm a fan.
I mean, ultimately, that's a win in my book.
Yeah. How about you? How do you feel about Southbound? Like now,
I mean,
do you honestly love it more?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, I think it's so exciting to like hear hints of things in a song and then have them blow up more. Like I don't think anyone else picked up on the Dude Ranch aspect of it, but instead they picked up on what I love about Dude Ranch, which is like the shambolicness of it, and kind of blew it open in that sense. So yeah, I'm so pumped, and I'm so happy to go out with B Left, who continues, I think, to explore the we controversy with Justin Trudeau Canadian government. This is the Harami JT Southbound YYC on a worldwide train to globe hell is what this is called. And the caption says, Mr. Beam counter pipeline trigonometry elites infiltrate.
And a reminder that Globe Hell comes out on Wednesdays, folks.
That's right. I like when I can still hear the source material in these too. But normally Justin Trudeau would be defending himself by now.
Yeah, I'm confused. Where are the Kielburgers in all this?
Maybe it's just a straight up cover, which even B Left can't resist.
That's amazing. It's also like the most shitposty song title yet, maybe. And instead, it's like incredible. It's just a song.
I can't control.
There we go.
The numbers.
Yeah.
I can control the numbers in my cabinet, and modeling that leadership of making a determination that yes, it's 2015. We had to do that was important.
And that's Southbound.